Welcome to a true story from the history of the Cripple Creek Mining District. This video is copyright 2026 by Thomas Saunders. Many people who enjoy reading stories from the history of Cripple Creek, Colorado, have heard of Roy Bourquin. Roy lost both hands and one eye playing with blasting powder as a youth. He caused considerable trouble in the community as a boy and young man at the turn of the 20th century, owing to his fondness for explosives and setting fires. But Adolphus Bourquin, Roy's father, who was a miner in the district for about a decade, is less well known. I hope to tell some of his story in this video. Adolphus Bourquin was born in 1839 to farmer Joseph and Mary Ann Bourquin in Ohio. He was the fifth born of an eventual 8 children, all born in Ohio. Joseph and Mary Ann were French immigrants who had lived in Ohio for at least 8 years by the time Adolphus was born. In April 1861, the Civil War began with the attack on Fort Sumter in Charleston, South Carolina, and the call went out from Washington for 75,000 volunteers to defend the Union. Ohio had no army posts to process and train incoming volunteers, and Governor William Dennison ordered the development of temporary Camp Jackson in Goodell Park, located in Columbus, Ohio. Later that month, on April 22, 1861, Adolphus Bourquin and his older brother Francis both enlisted in the Union Army in Columbus. On the official roster, Adolphus is listed as 20 years old and Francis as 22 years, though based on earlier census records, both were slightly older. The Bourquin men were mustered into the 13th Ohio Volunteer Infantry, Company A, with a 3-month term of service. In June 1861, the Army's permanent facilities at Camp Chase, also in Columbus, were ready, and Camp Jackson was closed, and the Bourquins and their unit were transferred to Camp Chase. The 13th Infantry served within Ohio and performed garrison and guard duty in Ohio and along the state's borders. In August 1861, the 3-month term of service expired, and a new 3-year unit was formed. The Bourquins mustered out on August 18, 1861 in Columbus, and no record that either re-enlisted was found. Adolphus worked as a harness maker in the 1870s and 1880s, and was married twice. In the 1870s, with his first wife Matilda, the couple had 3 daughters and lived in Randolph County, Indiana. In the late 1870s and the 1880s, while living in Washington, Kansas, Adolphus and his second wife Hannah had 2 sons, Charles, born in 1879, and Roy, born in 1887. Hannah died in 1889, and Adolphus was left a single father with 2 young sons at home. About 1891, Adolphus and 12-year-old Charles moved to Colorado. Younger son Roy, then about 4, stayed in Kansas with Hannah's sister Susan. That same year, Adolphus filed for his military pension. In 1894, 7-year-old Roy joined Adolphus and Charles in Colorado. In 1898, Charles served in the Philippines during the Spanish-American War. He was with the 1st Colorado Infantry, Company D. On May 1, 1900, 13-year-old Roy was charged with petty larceny and sent to the State Industrial School for Boys in Golden, Colorado. At the time, Adolphus and Charles were working as miners and sharing a house in the Cripple Creek district. Roy was soon back in Cripple Creek with his father. On June 15, 1902, the 15-year-old was with brothers John and George Anderson, who were about his age. The boys got a hold of some blasting powder and placed it in some loose, soft dirt and fastened a blasting cap and fuse to it. Roy was piling loose dirt on the powder when it exploded. At first, the doctors at Sisters Hospital were not optimistic for his survival. Both hands were severely damaged and had to be amputated. The doctors were able to save his right eye, but he did lose his left. The boy also had extensive wounds to his scalp and several wounds throughout his body. Towards the end of 1904, 65-year-old Adolphus was still working as a miner in the Cripple Creek District, and his handicapped son Roy was living with him. Charles had moved from the district and was living in Salt Lake City. In early December 1904, Adolphus was hospitalized in Sisters Hospital with pneumonia. He died on the 6th. Adolphus had been receiving an Army pension of $12 per month, and fellow veterans from the GAR, Civil War Veterans Group, helped Roy apply for benefits, since he was a handicapped miner. Adolphus Bourquin was buried in Mount Pisgah Cemetery in Cripple Creek, and his grave can be found in the Veterans section with many other Civil War veterans. Adolphus's son, Roy, stayed in Cripple Creek, and being disabled, alternated living between the Teller County Hospital and Sisters Hospital for most of his life. He continually caused problems for the community until he was much older. From age 34, he served several years at the Colorado State Prison in Canyon City. In the 1950s, he finally lived on his own for a few years in Cripple Creek before passing away in 1958. Like his father, he's buried in the Mount Pisgah Cemetery here. This is the end of our video. Thanks for watching.